Hey everyone, Bradley's9 here. We're with some Gears 5. In this video I'm going to show you how to get all 90 collectibles. It's called It's Not Hoarding If Your Stuff Is Cool. The achievement is called. Now if you do this in co-op, both of your partners will get the collectible when one of you pick it up. I'll be putting it in the top right there. You can see the name of the collectible, what act it's in, and what number it is. I'll be giving you timestamps too. I'll tell you how many collectibles are in each mission, as you can tell in the brackets beside the chapter. And then I'll just describe to you where each collectible is and continue on so you can follow along with your playthrough, or you can come back and clean it up using timestamps and pick up the collectibles you missed on your original playthrough or playthroughs. So let's get this going. First off, the weathered spectacles. You start here in this little pool area. You walk over, you grab the specs. And then in the same area, specs are over there. When you're going to walk up this hill, instead of going to the right, take a little detour to the left. And pick up this Onyx Guard Challenge coin. Then a little bit later, you'll come to an area like this. You see guys on the ground, but you don't actually fight anyone here.
Only a handful of us made it off Azura alive.
You'll come into like a bathroom, locker room area here. And you'll see a poster on the wall. Make sure to pick that up. Later, you'll have to get Jack to open a door for the first time. You'll see a little notice up there, and then you'll go through a pretty obvious doorway. Or you could see one that's called Infirmary up top. And right inside, you'll see COG tags of a dead homie. Pick those up, pay your respects, and move on to the next collectible, which is actually from this last one. We're going to go back out, and we're going to go up the stairs. Now if you have your brightness down, you'll be kind of hard to see. But you're going to want to go into this room. Little control room looking thing. And then into the captain's quarters, I think. Or the chairman or whatever. And you pick up his wristwatch. And later on in the mission, you'll get to this area. And a bunch of enemies will spawn right there. So I cleared them out. So you can get it while you're fighting them, but obviously you can get it after you clear out the enemies. You're going to want to dip into this room over here on the left. And you'll see some missile strike authorization papers laying there. This next collectible is going to be from this one. Same room, kind of, basically. So now you're going to go progress to the story where you have to go to this door here. You're going to have to get Dave, I guess it's called right now. I still call him Jack. And then you'll open the door for you. And then if you go to the left, they'll progress through the story, so don't do that yet. Make sure to go straight and pick this up first. And that's the end for Chapter 1. I'll see you on Chapter 2. Alright, here's the start of Chapter 2. After some cutscene, you'll be in this room like this. Barrett will be standing there. You're going to want to pick this photo up off the desk. There's 3 collectibles off the start of this chapter. First one's here. I guess that's Baird's old squad. A couple of these I read a little bit longer if I felt they were a little more interesting. If you played the other Gears, you're going to be interested in these collectibles. As far as collectibles go, I don't usually read them too much, but this one I was a little more intrigued. And then once you go into the room where Baird's about to give you your little upgrade, to the left is the Lancer blueprint. And just on the other side of that desk there, you're going to see the trauma record for Marcus Phoenix, which is another pretty interesting one. Just tell you about how he's doing, how he almost got screwed by being in that pod too long from Gears 4, yada yada. The first 3 collectibles are right there, early, quick in this chapter. Now there's only 2 more left. This chapter is actually pretty short. After you go through a little cutscene here, you see poor little bot get knocked down.
Chef's kiss, buddy. Chef's kiss.
And then after the cutscene on the wall here, you'll see a gym notice. And then I believe it ends the mission if you go to the room across from us here. So you don't go in there yet. You're going to want to go all the way to here, to this lit up area, and you're going to want to grab up this marketing brochure for Damon Baird Industries. Now on to chapter 3. At the start of chapter 3, you'll battle some dudes. And once you get up, you'll be in this area here. And there'll be a dead homie on the ground. Make sure to pick up his tags, pay those respects. And from this dead homie, the next collectible is just nearby too. Magazine with gin on it. Gonna want to pick that up for sure. Good reading while you're on the shitter, probably. Wonder how many working shitters are around here. Next area, you're gonna come here and there'll be a Brumac that'll be chilling, wipe out some dudes. And then you're gonna want to walk up these stairs, and your boys will be regrouping there, boys and girls. And then you just grab up this Seditious Literature chilling on the desk. Next one is not too far after. You'll come to a room with some civilians chilling, and you're chilling here with Carmine, one of the Carmines. And in this room you'll find some welcome package for Settlement 2. Pick that up before you go outside where Carmine was chilling. Now once you're outside, you'll battle some dudes. Now you can go and get this while you're battling dudes, or you can do it after you regroup with Lizzie. Either way, it's going to be in this green room just to the right. You can get this at any point before you leave through the gate. You go up the stairs and you'll find this Embry star here, belonging to one Dominic Santiago. And then just a bit later, you'll come to this area here on your way to help Carmine. You'll see some sort of crash site here.
Damn it, Swarm's taking down our Condors too.
Yeah, I bet that goddamn swarm might brought it down.
And eventually you'll come up to here and you'll find another dead homie with his tags. Not too sure if I was supposed to shoot that DB or not. I'm still fresh from Gears 4 where they're the enemy. Either way, pick up those tags. On to the next one. Late in this chapter, you'll come to this area with an obvious glowing guitar, that red car, and a green glowing sign across the street. Just past there, there's going to be a bookstore, and there will be a shelf with a bunch of books on display. Only one matters, that's the collectible on the back. Make sure to pick that up before you leave through the gate. And that's the last one for this chapter. Alright, on to chapter 4. Now you'll get to this area here, you'll see the Grand Bomah Hotel sign there through the gate. You want to go down here between the Jeep and the van here and slide into this loading bay. And tucked in the back here, you'll find the piece of paper here, collectible. A little later on, you'll blast through these blue doors here. You'll come into a dark room like this, and you'll ask Jack to light it up for you. And then you'll see the unfortunate scene of some dead homies down there. One of them will have some COG tags for you to pick up, pay those respects, and move on to the next collectible. Samson Hughes, RIP, dog. Later on, you'll get to this area here. After a little battling in this hotel, you'll see a curved staircase. Before going up that, you'll see a horse plushie over here. Come and grab that. And from this last collectible, we're going to go up those curved stairs. And then you see by all the balloons and baby bottles and stuff, don't go through that yet, make sure to pick this up first. Nice little birth pamphlet. Cool stuff. Next you'll get to an area like this. You'll be in a theater. Then once you get those gates closed, you're going to want to go from there and walk all your way like this. You'll go to a dressing room, and just to the left there's a little makeup room or whatever. And there's some song lyrics chilling there. Make sure to pick that up. Might be a single one day. And then from this collectible is the next one as well. So just outside the doorway, you'll see another doorway. This is where you have to go anyways. And then you'll get to this little hangout area with some light mirrors, and there will be a worn lighter chilling there. Make sure to pick that up. Anybody got a doobie? Next collectible, not too far ahead, you'll get to an area here where you need to pull a switch to open those curtains over there to the left. So you could do it after you open the curtains, but it's easier to just do it before. Come and pick up that scroll prop. Easy enough. That's the end for this mission. That's it for Act 1 too, actually. On Act 2. Now this is Chapter 1 for Act 2. Right off the start, you'll be in this area here. You'll see that building go down, and then just to the right here, you see some guys chirping you. Just to the right, you'll see not a skin flute, riftworm flute, chilling there on the desk. A little bit after that, you'll be walking through the village. You'll see a smelter guy on your right. Not working very hard right now, but there's a collectible license plate right there for you to pick up. And right from this collectible, just look to the left, and then you could walk in a straight line to get to the next one. You see those little white flowers, bushes, whatever you want to call those over there? There's going to be a lost gear helmet chilling on the ground. There it is, pick that up. Now the next two are also close together. A little bit later on in the level, you'll get to this area here. You'll see some big ribs in the background. This thing will start going off, so you can kind of know when you're getting close to this one. And then right after that thing, you'll see this little gray block and that kid running away, chirping you. Pick up his toy Lancer. Who's laughing now? And then from this Lancer is the next collectible. So a little bit down the path, you'll see two dudes chilling on a balcony to your left. Surprised these ones don't chirp you too. And then you go into the room here, and you'll see this book chilling here on this display case. Major Howl and the Battling Ants. Then not too much further down, you'll see a stable, a dude talking to his horses. Then you're going to want to go into this room here, and some tech chick will start complaining about her tools being taken, yada yada. But you'll see this notice on the lockers, make sure to pick that up. Again, a little bit later on, this is after a cutscene, you'll recognize this area. And then you'll see these little banners heading to this one building. And inside that building is, you guessed it, the Note to the Chief. Another collectible.
Looks that way.
Your problem now.
Guessing the giant.
Also a little bit further down, there's 10 collectibles in this mission, so there's quite a few. You'll get to this area here. To the left, you got to open the gate. You have to press X, so you got time to grab this. So pick it up. Then you could go open the gate and continue it. Now this next one will be at an area where you have your weapons drawn. You most likely will enter that building from the inside, but I entered it from the outside. But anyways, you'll see that highlighted mech sitting there, and right beside it you'll see blueprints for an outsider skiff schematic, and that's the next collectible.
But the only one who
but most likely you'll enter from behind me. But either way, you'll see that highlighted mech. And then the last one here, I won't put the name in there because it contains spoilers. Once you do a bunch of stuff, you'll enter this barn here. So if you don't want, hit pause if you don't want the spoiler. But before you jump on the skiff to enter the barn here, you can pick up these COG tags that you have now seen what it is. So that was my best to avoid those spoilers, but either way, now on to Act 2, Chapter 2. Now to keep in mind, I'll let you know if there's other collectibles to grab for other achievements. Now here there's an Enforcer relic and a long shot relic in this act. So feel free to go to my video for those. But in here you'll face a carrier in the train tunnel. You go to the train tunnel looking on your map. It's just before the outsider camp. And when you enter it, you'll have a carrier to face. And once you kill him, you can enter that train and pick up these maintenance notes, which you'll also need for an upgrade for Jack. So make sure to pick that up. Now this one's just outside the train tunnel. That's the train tunnel there. Next collectible is just in this empty train car. Not completely empty. It has a dead guy with a picture there, so make sure to pick up that picture. It's a collectible. Now we started from the northern passage there. And we go all the way up to here to the outsider camp. This is where this chapter will actually end once you pass the camp here.
This far north? You think they're from Oscar's village?
So as you see there, right beside a jug of tea or something, there's some notes for you to pick up. Elena's journal. You need this one for a Jack upgrade as well. But you could also grab this one in Act 2, Chapter 4. Now I'm going by numbers of the collectibles that the game put it in. Although it's clearly beneficial to grab this one first. You start at the northern passage there. And this earring is just going to be right up over here. And you'll see a pile of junk there. And right by the pile of junk, there's a dead person with an earring chilling. Make sure to pick that up. Now on to Chapter 3. Right when you start Chapter 3, you'll be in this area here. And there's an intercepted letter chilling over by this COG door. Pick that up.
Well, this building is in rough shape. There might be a way around.
Now later, you'll be in an area like this. Once you walk out, you'll see a room with some gas on your left. There is a component in there. But then you just walk over to where Dell's chilling here, and there's a second door. The other one that you get Jack to unlock doesn't give you anything. But this one will give you a collectible, along with a component. You're going to want to grab those too. But there's a collectible sitting on a medical table. Now from that one, you're going to want to just grab that component before you leave. But right outside the door, you'll enter this room here. You'll see some creepy incubators and stuff. Drippy blood, all that good stuff. But then there's some important info on the desk, so pick that up. And then from that one, just after that, you'll enter a room like this.
Looks like Niles had a favorite test subject. Observation.
Pretty fun looking room.
Disgusting.
But then you blast through that glass and you'll see some information on the table. That's your next collectible.
Marcus, who was this Niles?
And now this next one, you'll enter an area like this where you drop down, you can't go back. You'll see a light down a hallway. And the first door on your right will have a patient on the table and have some notes beside him, which is your next collectible. Now this next one, you'll drop down these stairs, which is another area of no return. And then you'll enter this data room with a bunch of wires and computer stuff, and your last collectible for the chapter will be sitting right there on some equipment of sorts. Alright, now there's a lot to do in Act 2, Chapter 4, as you can see on the list on the left. There are relics, crash sites, and jack upgrades to get. So I have videos for that too, so I have timestamps on them as well, so you can link them to Chapter 4 and do these at the same time. But for this video I'm showing you the collectibles. So the first one on the list is the Security Memorandum. So you're going to want to go down to the southeast part of the map there. And once you make your way into the door, you go into this back room and there's some notes chilling on a couple of boxes. Now the next one is Crab's Locust Tag. This one is by one of the old Derrick sites. There's two places called the old Derrick site. There's the old COG wall, which you had to enter to get into this new area. And right up there, the old Derrick site. And then right outside of it, you'll see a dead guy there with some locust tags. Pick those up. And then right from there, you can enter this area. You see there is where the entrance is. You see the yellow flag. And once you enter the old Derrick site, you'll battle a bunch of dudes. And once you do, you can open this panel in the back and pick up one of the pieces for one of Jack's upgrades, which is also a collectible. Now from this collectible, we're just going to go north. We're going to find Lena's scribbles. There's the old COG wall. Now right before the North Comm Tower, you'll get to the North Tower substation. That's where you enter from the COG wall. And up near the north, you'll see on the scribbles, right on the notepad there. Pick those up. You also need to do that for a jack upgrade. Now the next one is at the next old Derrick site, which is east from the other one. Now this is very similar to the other Derrick site. You get a collectible outside, and then you go inside, battle a bunch of enemies, and once you finish the battle, you open a panel to get another upgrade, which is also for Jack's ultimate cooling upgrade. So you see here, there's a Skorge guy over here. Orders from him anyways. Pick those up. And then from there you enter this little ship area. Battle a bunch of guys.
Alright, one more piece of cooling tech, Jack will be good to go.
Well, maybe some of us like Jack just the way he is.
I believe you have to climb the ship to get him to come. I could be wrong. But either way, once you clear him out, you can open the panel just like the other one.
Shit, swarm!
Yeah, like clockwork. Hold him off!
And if you grab the grind lift maintenance notes in the act previous to this and you follow the video, you will now have unlocked Jack's cooling upgrade, flash freeze, now the next one, Letter to Bomah, is out by a tank out in a snowy area in the map. On your way to the south comm tower, see the old COG wall, and just to the east of that, you kind of have to loop around to get to this.
Okay.
Then you just run up to the tank and you'll see the letter chilling by a lantern there.
about to have a fight.
Next one is a frayed Pouncer-Tooth necklace. Now when you're going to the old mine, which you have to do for this part of the chapter anyways, you won't be able to leave without going here. So the entrance is just to the right there, but you'll see a little hut. There's the entrance. And then you just climb the ladder and there will be a necklace chilling there. Now once you're in the mine is going to be the next one.
Come on, let's get this over with.
You lift a door like this one. And then right from here you'll see some lockers and such. Looks like a fun place to work. But you just enter this room here.
You know, I thought we knew where all the outsiders were, but
And there will be a poster on the wall and you need to grab that up. It's a collectible.
Most outsiders don't want to be found, especially by the COG.
And now the last collectible in this chapter is also in the mines here. The Nethercutt Miner's Journal. Now you'll enter a room like this. It'll be pretty clear when you enter this room. Then from there, you just walk over to this room over here. And on a dining table, there's the miner's journal right there. And you could read his journal if you like.
Do my best not to.
Then we're on to chapter 5. So the first one is the Nethercutt Helmet. You'll see this area here. You'll see the door. And then you're going to want to turn around and go basically backwards. And then you're going to have to loop around and then go down another little slope. And then you can see the helmet just sitting on the ground there. Go and pick that up. Now there's some subject analysis coming up next. You'll see this area here. You have to do some things and stuff to turn off cryojets. And once you do, you're going to want to remember to climb up to this door on the right here.
Really looking forward to you explaining this.
Oh, nothing but the remains of an old industrial accident.
Del, these tanks. Same as the ones at New Hope.
yeah.
So make sure to go kick that down. You do walk past here later in this level. But when me and my co-op partner did it, I don't believe the collectible showed up when we came back. So make sure to do this on the first walkthrough of the level before you have to come back. Sorry for that little spoiler, but it doesn't spoil that much. There's also a component there. Make sure to grab that up on your left. Next collectible, you'll get to this yellow vial holding something nasty in there. Then after a long informative cutscene, you're going to want to grab the collectible that's sitting on the ground beside it. Now the next one is a Lexigram Board. You'll get to an area where you need to use your stim to get past some cryo chamber things. You'll see a pretty cool frozen stab there. But you'll see these jets. To get past them, just plop on some stim and waltz your way through. And once you get across by the little thing you need to shock, you'll see the board on the ground. Pick it up, it's yours now. Now for some more subject analysis. You'll see this area here. It'll be pretty noticeable once you get here. You have to kick down that door, and then once you kick it down, there's some ice in your way. But I just saved you from watching me shoot down some ice. And then you're going to get kind of frozen here, but you can turn on some stim and go and grab this collectible. And then just past that area there, you'll see something happen and a cutscene happen. And then you're going to leave through this door that was once closed. And then pick up this sketchbook of some interesting drawings. And that's it for Chapter 5. On to Act 3. Alright, now the first 3 in Chapter 1 of Act 3 are pretty close together. So as soon as you start the chapter, turn around and pick up the newspaper on the bar there. And then from here, we're going to walk on over to a book called Doomed Empire. So I'll speed it up like I usually do. There's a component just to your right there. There's a few of them sitting around here. You might as well just kind of search around. But right here is the book. It's sitting on the ground. And then there's one more collectible in this little area. The Missive to Agent 9. So from here, you're going to want to walk up through the metal detectors. And then you'll see that room right there. And right in the back corner there, you'll see on a desk some papers. Go pick those up. Now the next collectible is the Nomad's Creed. You'll see that's where we got that last collectible. Eventually you'll have to leave through those doors on the left. And then just past that area there, in the background, you'll see on a desk stabbed with a knife, a piece of paper by a Markza. Go and pick that up. And now there's the Astounding Lightning Rangers. Last one of this chapter, you'll see out in the airfield here. There will be a couple of helicopter bays, whatever you want to call them. And by this one here, you'll see the collectible right here on this ladder shelf thing. Then we're on to chapter 2. Now you'll start off pretty early, get to this area here, a little command center area. And a Hammer of Dawn command case will be sitting in a little leather pouch by this guy here. This former guy, I guess. Now the next one, a Termination Directive. You're going to need to walk up there. But for the collectible, you walk down here.
Don't envy whoever had to build it.
Around the sand. And down on these barrels here, you'll find the piece of paper. Go and pick that up before you progress through the story. Next is the UIR Space Mission Brief. You'll enter an area like this. You'll see this very noticeable orange ring thing in the ground there. Once you beat the enemies, you can go in the background room here. Little classroom looking science area. And pick up this science that's sitting on the desk there. Next are some loyalist orders from Major Tolley. You'll get to this area here. Pretty noticeable, and just off to the right here, you'll find the piece of paper over some sandbags. Next, we're going for the UIR tag of Major Tolley. Poor guy must have put up a good fight, though. You'll come to this obvious tank in the open here, and you'll see, presumably, Major Tolley with his tag sitting on the ground. R.I.P. dog. Now the last one for this chapter is the Major's speech. You'll come through this broken hole in the wall
Work our way outside.
with a light by 2 tables here. And one of the tables will have your last collectible for this chapter. Good old Paddock really liked the COG. Now this next chapter is another big open world one, just like Act 2, Chapter 4. So as you see there, there's a bunch of relics, a crash site, and a couple of Jack Ultimate upgrades that you could use my videos for those to go along with this one to find everything in this chapter. But for the first collectible, you can actually get this in the end of Chapter 2. because you have to come here anyways, so that's why I'll show you this one first. But you can come back and get this in Chapter 3, which is kind of what the game intended by putting the collectible in the Chapter 3 area. Like when you look at your collectibles, it'll be put in Act 3, Chapter 3, so that's why I'm tagging it like that. But you will come here in Chapter 2. This is the train turntable. So if you remember to do this beforehand, you won't have to come back here. So there's the paper there. Just make sure to pick that up. So if you didn't get it in Chapter 2, that's okay. You could come back and get it in Chapter 3. Now the Nomad sketchings, we're going to go through this on the order that the game put it in. So I know it'll be kind of over the map, but I'll put on which location each are located at, so you could kind of pick out the ones you want to find first, because each location will have a titled area on it. This one called the Water Tower. And you do some stuff here, but once you open that door that the girl was chilling in, you'll find some sketchings to go and pick up. Now the next two collectibles are at the City Ruins location. As you see there on the map, you'll face a bunch of enemies, and then once you get Jack to open that door eventually, walk up the staircase and pick up the circuit. One of 3 circuits. And then from this collectible, you're going to want to go to the right, through that doorway there. Right behind that wall to your right there is going to be a well-worn Vascari flag. Make sure to pick that up. It's all rugged. I agree, the flag would look better without that UIR bullshit. But that's okay. Collectibles got it, so we gonna grab that up. Next one, UIR Tag Fallen Loyalist, just outside the rocket hangar. Right where you enter, you gotta pass some blocks and some broken tanks. But off to the right there, you'll see a dead homie. Might have been a D-bag, maybe he wasn't a homie. Either way, dead person with some tags. Tags you want to pick up. Pick those up. Now the next one are some loyalist orders to Lieutenant Melich. You'll see here on the map, it's underneath the harbor docks there. He'll be sitting by some tanks out in the sand, looking down on himself. And to make matters worse, we're just going to take his orders. Thank you very much. Now we're going to go to the cargo shipwreck for the next 2 collectibles. It's located here on the map, just to the right of the train bridge. So there'll be a captain's log just to the right here in a little cargo container. And then in that same area here, you'll see back in the center of it, right in the background there, you'll see a little bit of stairs and some railings. And just in the background, you'll see a circuit by a dead Vascari soldier. That's the second of 3 pieces for another Jack upgrade. Now the next one is going to be a 3rd piece. This one is over at the artillery battery, just to the west of where we just were. I will show you on the map here. But you get to this area here, kick open the doors, you'll slice open some homies that were in some sacks. Then when you climb up, they're actually on the table right in the middle there. I just had a bit of a tough time seeing it. There it was.
What's this?
Now if you got the other two, you'll unlock that jack upgrade right there. But there's also another collectible in this area, so don't go away yet.
It's like old UIR radio.
As you see here, from the same area, you climb up those stairs.
Go see your friends.
Before we head out, let's give this area.
You'll see the piece of paper sitting right there. So that's kind of what I went for in the first walk, but that's okay. Both of them are up there. Make sure to get those two before you leave this area. The artillery battery, just underneath the train bridge there. Next one is a Lightmass missile fragment. The last three are kind of near the end of the chapter, I believe. So this one's at the cosmonaut training facility. You'll see the entrance to it right there with the blasted open area. Just off to the right there, you're going to want to run over there and pick up this collectible. Now the next one's inside. UIR Tag of Captain Tagger. After you deal with something that's in the middle there, a bunch of stuff will happen. And then you're going to want to walk on over here to all the homies that are checking stuff out. And you're going to want to pick up the collectible on the ground. Now there's one more collectible. After you do some things, this collectible won't be available until you progress through the story part of this chapter, because it's kind of open world. You could do a bunch of things at your own pace, but once you start doing the story stuff, you go to the abandoned airport and get told to continue on anyways. And you'll get to this area here where I just try to avoid spoilers by not saying too much. You'll get to this area here,
Get in there and see what we can do.
and just past this first tank, kind of pretty well hidden in the sand, you'll see a fallen nomad's visor. That's the last one for chapter 3. And remember, there's no collectibles in chapter 4 of Act 3, so the next one will be on chapter 1 of Act 4. Now this is the last chapter that has collectibles in it. There's also a Jack Ultimate Upgrade, the last one on here for other stuff. You can watch my Ultimate Upgrades video for that one, Jack of all trades. Either way, the first one is after you see the piano, you walk down the stairs, and then you walk over to this encyclopedia and you pick that up. Next one, you'll come to this area here where you'll see a van out in the open. You need to go left, but just off to the right here, you'll get a ruptured gear helmet collectible. Now, I'll pre-warn you here, my achievement isn't going to pop because the collectibles were kind of funky with how they got tracked and I didn't get recorded, but I'll show you here. This will help anyone who goes through the same thing. But you have seen all the collectibles, don't worry, I've showed you all of them. The second last one here, you'll come to some swampy river area with some vehicles and you'll see stabbed in a rock somehow some COG tags. Pick those up, and then the last collectible is just over on those stairs. Just climb up and you'll see the notice on the wall. Pick that up and that will be your last collectible. As you see, mine stayed at 97% because it got screwed up on the last two collectibles, which is awesome for the video, I know. But right now is when the achievement should pop, and that should have been all of them for you. But this is also to help people who do get stuck. Because you all saw me just pick those collectibles up, and as you see there, it doesn't have those recorded. So for whatever reason, it was doing that on the start of the release, but I'll show you here, don't worry.
We're on our way to him now.
That I went back and redid the chapter and got the collectibles again and made sure to have the progress bar stay on the right side of my screen. As you see there, I'm down to the last two now. I'm going to show you the recording of it again and show the achievement popping. But my friend was able to actually just not collect anything anymore. Like, he collected everything and the game eventually loaded up the achievement for him. It just took a while to load the progress of his collectibles. So that's just more information for you. But as you see there, I have the achievement tab, so you see the white going up. So I wanted to make sure that it was going to pop and didn't get stuck. And then I grabbed this last one, and then as you see, it changes the achievement, which means it unlocked. There it is. But as I said, give it a little time if it didn't trigger, but they should have that fixed by now. So I hope this helped you get all the collectibles. Thanks for watching, everyone. And remember, I have other videos on the other things in Gears 5, so make sure to watch those too if you want all the achievements. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in my other videos.